Hey everyone, welcome back for week 2. Thanks for joining us. I drug Brie in with us today because she is maybe more the expert than I. And I wanted to first, before we talk about what's happening at the State House, talk a little bit about what's going on with VAWA. We had a webinar yesterday with our national partners to kind of get us caught up to speed and up to date on what's happening. So I wasn't sure that I was going to be the one who could speak to it eloquently. So I asked Brie if she would join us and share a little bit about what's going on with VAWA and what we can do in our state to help protect OVW and VAWA funding.
So some of you may have been on the call that the National Alliance to End Sexual Violence put on yesterday. They were just giving us some updates about their sense of things on the Hill and what we might do to support their efforts. So the good news is y'all may have heard about the President's Blueprint budget that went out. And that was not actually the official President's budget. I think that was just kind of a testing the waters kind of budget. They anticipate that the President's budget will be out by April. Again, that's just the President's budget, which is basically a recommendation. It's Congress who sets budgets. So just keep that in mind. So we are currently in a continuing resolution for fiscal year 2017, which means that we did not, or Congress did not pass a budget last fall. And so continuing resolution means we're just kind of using the same budget that was previously in effect. It's likely that they will extend the continuing resolution and that will just be the budget for 2017. So we're thinking that a lot of our efforts are going to be focused on the budget for fiscal year 2018, which starts in October. So some things they wanted to update us on. While there is definitely cause for concern, this isn't a time to panic. This is really a time to come together and rally, which we have done in the past. They talked about both VAWA and VOCA. VOCA is not currently up for reauthorization, but there are concerns that the funds that go into VOCA, so fines and assessment fees, have gone down and are likely to stay down. So we want to make sure that VOCA funds don't get cut back too much. But VAWA is kind of our primary concern right now. One thing to keep in mind is that VAWA and VOCA in the past have seen increases when other programs have been cut, and that we have really good relationships and strong support. They talked about that a key kind of critical thing that we need to be doing is really letting our elected Congress folks know that as constituents, we think these programs are very important. And that has really been what has swayed the tide previously. So we'll be working to provide some guidance around things you can do in your community, town halls, site visits, things we can do at the state level that you can support in order to have that strong constituent voice, and a couple key dates to keep in mind. So times when your Congress folks will be in district that you should be contacting them, asking them to come do site visits, providing them with information, are February 20th through 24th, April 10th through the 21st, and the month of August. So we're going to try to pull some things together for you, ideas for you for February. We're definitely going to focus on April, particularly because it's Sexual Assault Awareness Month and what we can do to kind of amplify that message. And we'll have more information as it becomes available about what we're hearing from Washington, D.C. and what you can do to support.
Thanks. So thank you, Brie. And for those of you who attended our lead day at the Capitol, there's actually a calendar, a congressional calendar in your packet, if you still have it, that shows when your Congress folks are going to be back in district. And that's a service that, or technical assistance that the coalition can provide, is kind of walking us through what attending a town hall meeting looks like, what inviting a member of Congress to your local center looks like. And if anyone is interested in setting up those appointments, I would be more than happy to help kind of give some guidance around what that might look like and questions to ask and statements that we might want to talk to our Congress people about. So stay tuned. And then kind of to switch gears a little bit, I wanted to speak just about one bill of interest because it's going to be up in the House Judiciary Committee on Tuesday, February 7th at 1:30. It's first on the calendar, and that is our housing protections bill that we spoke about last week. And so this morning I met with Representative Jackson and her aide, and we went through kind of like the list of who's going to be speaking, who's going to be providing testimony for that bill, and kind of like painting the narrative of why this is a policy problem that needs a policy solution, which is to give more protections to survivors of sexual assault, domestic violence, and stalking. The areas of testimony that we're still missing are friendly landlords. So landlords who either have helped survivors in the past to break their lease as a pathway to safety, as part of their safety planning, just friendly landlords in general, because we're getting some heavy opposition from the apartment association. And so we want to kind of paint a picture that this has already been established for domestic violence survivors, and that it's not the floodgates that they're warning about that are going to open up for these fraudulent claims. And maybe landlords who actually have worked with survivors and have seen the benefit of this bill, survivors of domestic violence who have received the benefits of this bill. And lastly, really important, I think, is we have the support in name from a couple of medical folks, the medical community, but we don't have an actual medical professional, sane nurse, to be able to testify as to why it would be important for a medical professional to validate that a victim is in fact a victim. And I hate saying that, but that's kind of what we're up against, what we're having to prove. And so if you are a medical professional, if you are sane, if you are free at 1:30 this coming Tuesday, I would love to connect with you and see if we can get you down here at the Capitol so that the committee has the chance to see and hear why it would be important for a nurse to be able to create a pathway to safety for survivors. So that's kind of the big push right now. We are looking at a ton of other bills and legislation and stakeholder meetings, and the ball is definitely rolling and in full effect. But I think that's my update for today. Unless, Brie, do you have anything else to share?
No, I don't think so.
Okay, good. Well, we will see you guys next week. Stay tuned, and I will let you know the results of the committee hearing on Tuesday. But spoiler alert, I think it might pass. Fingers crossed. And we'll talk to you guys soon. Thanks for listening.